Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Saroj Kumar Amar, working as Assistant Professor in Forensic Science Division, Lovely Professional University, Jalandhar, Punjab. I am going to focus on module which is origin of species from biological fluids, blood grouping, ABO, MN and RH system from dried blood stain, which is under the paper heading of Forensic Science and Forensic Medicine. After completion of module, a student will able to understand the source of different biological fluids and its significance. The learner will able to determine the species to which the given biological fluids belong. The student would have understanding of the procedure of determining the blood grouping ABO, MN and RH factor from dried blood stain, as well as how to conduct the test for origin of species of the given sample. A student will also be aware with composition and components of biological fluids. Before the invention of DNA fingerprinting, forensic serology was important tool for criminal investigation. To find out the actual source of body fluids, especially blood, semen, vaginal secretion, milk, saliva, etc., which are common important clue left behind the scene of crime. Biological sample collected from scene of crime has to identify, then it is essential to establish whether it is of human origin or non-human origin. In the case of non-human origin, we have to find out the species. The most frequent encountered species in the case of non-human origin are dog, cat, cattle, fowl, goat, rat and rabbit. The specific antibody plays key role in identification of species. The antigen or specific protein present in the blood stain or other body fluid tissue get bind to the specific antibody which help in detection of source species. The species specific protein or antigen from the blood stain or fluids or tissue are extracted in 0.85% normal saline or in 5% ammonia extract. Ammonia solution is better extract for old blood stain or stain on fibers and calcified tissue. For blood stain extract, a small quantity of the blood stain taken should be dipped in minimum amount of 0.85% normal saline or in 5% ammonia solution. Incubation for 60 to 90 minutes are required for proper extraction or till the solution become brown. After centrifugation, supernatant can be used for determination of origin of species. For preparation of extract from calcified or keratinized tissue, macerate the bone or nails tissue to get the very fine powder, then dip the pulverized tissue in 5% ammonia solution. After overnight incubation, use the supernatant for determination of origin of species. For extract from soft tissue, take a small fraction of the tissue and add 1 drop of normal saline or 5% ammonia solution. Pulverize tissue systematically and incubate up to 90 minutes. After centrifugation, use the supernatant after extraction. Now I am going to discuss the methods for detection of origin of species. The first method is precipitin tube method. Therefore, we take the precipitin tube for different antisera and label it properly. Add 1 drop of fluids or tissue extract in the each tube. Add 1 drop of anti-serum for different species and anti-human serum, anti-fowl serum, anti-dog serum, anti-cow serum, anti-goat serum along with the wall of tube and leave undisturbed for 30 minutes at room temperature. Observe a white ring at the interface of the two solutions for positive test only. The second method is double diffusion method. When an antigen like blood stain or fluids or tissue binds to the specific antibody or antisera by diffusion reaction inside the gel, a precipitin arc forms. For this test, prepare 1% agarose solution in normal saline, pour it over a level petri dish or glass slide to make 1 to 2 mm thick agar layer. Wait until the agar solidifies, then punch well in the gel 5 mm apart in a circular ring, and the one well is center. Seal the bottom of punch well with dilute agar 0.5%. Fill the central well with tissue extract or antigen, or peripheral well with different antisera or antibody like anti-human serum, anti-fowl serum, anti-dog serum, anti-cow, anti-goat, etc. Cover the petri dish and keep gel in a moist chamber for overnight. Examine the gel for presence of a specific precipitin arc respective to origin of species. The third method for determination of origin of a species is crossover electrophoresis. Therefore, agarose gel prepared in electrophoretic buffer should be used for crossover electrophoresis. The sample in question or blood stain or fluids or tissue extract is treated as antigen to present the negative charge and place in the cathodic well. The antibodies migrate towards negative charge cathode, while the antigen migrates toward positive charge anode. When electric current is supplied, a precipitin reaction can be observed between the two wells when an antigen combines with its specific antibody. For conduction of this test, first prepare 1% agarose gel in gel buffer, then pour it over in a level glass slide to make 1 to 2 mm thick agar layer. Wait till the agar solidify, punch well in pair at 5 mm apart and add few drops of sample or antigen extract in the well. Near to cathode in a specific anti-serum or antibody like anti-human serum, anti-fowl serum, anti-dog serum, anti-cow serum, anti-goat serum, etc. in the well near to anode. Place the slide on electrophoretic chamber and connect the gel to tank buffer chamber by 2 pieces of filter paper or wick on each side. Run the electrophoresis for 20 minutes at 150 volts, then remove the slides and observe it with the help of lamp or a fine white line of precipitin between opposite wells. Now the chemical requirement for electrophoresis, crossover electrophoresis are sodium barbiturates, diethyl barbituric acids, calcium lactate and agarose. For staining, naphthalene black, 10B methanol, glacial acetic acid, comesic brilliant blue stain are required. Comesic brilliant blue stain is the replacement of amido black. Now going to discuss the blood grouping and its forensic importance. A blood is a characteristic of individual red blood cell which may define in terms of a specific substances commonly known as antigen present on the surface of red blood cell. The two most important classification to describe blood grouping are ABON rhesus factor, commonly called RH factor. There are 46 other known antigen in the human are there, most of which are much rarer than ABO-Rh. The ABO blood group antigen remain of the prime importance in transfusion. They are the most immunogenic of all the blood group antigen. The most common cause of the death from a blood transfusion is a clerical error in which an incompatible type of ABO blood group is transfused. The ABO blood group antigen are attached to oligosaccharide chain that project above the RBC surface. These chains are attached to protein and lipids that lie in the RBC membrane. The ABO locus has three main alleles forms A, B and O. The A and B alleles each encode a glycosyl transferase that catalyze the final step in the synthesis of A and B antigen respectively. The A and B polymorphism arises from several SNPs in the ABO genes which result in A and B transferase that differ by 4 amino acids. The O alleles encode an inactive glycosyl transferase that leaves the ABO antigen precursor unmodified. If your blood group is A, then antigen on the surface of RBC is A and the antibody in the plasma is anti-B. If your blood group is B, then antigen on the surface of RBC is B and the antibody in the plasma is anti-A. In case of AB, both antigen A and B will be present, but no antibody will be present in the plasma. And in case of O blood group, no antigen is present in the surface of RBC, but both antibody is present. Now, how will we collect the blood for blood grouping? For collection of blood for blood grouping, sterilize the fingertip and alcohol with alcohol swab and prick it with a disposable needle. Collect the blood in a tube having normal saline. Centrifuge the content at 3000 rpm for 1 to 2 minutes. Wash the blood cell 2 to 3 minutes by discarding the supernatrants and resuspend the blood cell in fresh normal saline. Prepare 2% cell suspension in normal saline. Now, how will we determine the blood group from dried blood stain? Determination of blood group from dried blood stain. In case of blood stain is not completely dried, having the microbial growth over the stains, the stain can be kept at 100 degrees centigrade for 60 minutes to destroy the microbial and process for typing. There are 3 methods for determination of blood group from dried blood stain, which is absorption elution, absorption inhibition and mixed agglutination. The first one is absorption elution. For this, take 3 test tubes and mark it A, B and H. Take about 2 mm squared blood stain or 2 to 5 mm long threads in each test tube. Dip the fabric in anti-serum A, anti-B serum and anti-H lactin respectively and incubate at 40 degrees centigrade for overnight. Wash the fabric 3 to 4 times with ice chilled normal saline. Finally, add 1 drop of fresh normal saline. Cap the test tube with cotton swab and incubate in a water bath at 56 degrees centigrade for 20 minutes. Add 1 drop of 0.2% indicator cell A, B and O in the respective tube and keep at the 40 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. Centrifuge, shake well and observe the content for agglutination both macroscopically and microscopically. the result will be same as the blood grouping from fresh blood. If there is agglutination in cavity A, blood group will be A. If agglutination in cavity B, blood group will be B. If agglutination in both cavity, blood group will be AB, and if no agglutination is found, then your blood group will be O. The next method I am going to discuss is absorption elution method by Howard Martin. For this method, take a cellulose acetate sheet 0.4 mm thick and mark as A, B and H. Stick 1 cm long blood stain threads with acetone to each of 3 areas. Allow the thread to fix on the sheets for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, put 1 drop of anti-serum A, anti-serum B and anti-H-lectin respectively on the fixed thread. Later we will discuss how to prepare the H-lectin. Put the cellulose acetate sheet in a moist chamber for overnight at 4 degrees centigrade in the refrigerator. Take out from the refrigerator and rinse off the excess of antisera and blot the threads to dry with a paper by inverting the plates face down on a paper by rubbing the back of the glass slide with the another paper. Incubate at 40 degrees centigrade for 2 hours. Longer washing will not have the negative effect on the result provided the temperature does not exceed 40 degrees centigrade. Shorter wash time may result in incomplete rinsing of unbound antibody. Remove and dry with the paper towel and above add 1 drop of appropriate 0.2% indicator cell in each thread. Keep in moist chamber and elute in 56 degrees centigrade at incubator for 20 minutes. Place the sheet on a moist chamber and rotate on a rotator for 30 minutes. Read the result microscopically. Now I am going to discuss the procedure and importance of anti-H-lectin preparation, which has the great forensic significance in the finding out secretor and non-secretor person. If the person is secretor, their all body fluids have the antigen which will give reaction with the H-lectin. For preparation of anti-H-lectin, soak about 2 gram seeds of Eulex syropus seed in 10 ml of normal salines for overnight. Macerate the seeds and agitate the paste for 1 hour. Centrifuge at 3000 rpm for 5 minutes and discard the sediments. If supernatant is cloudy, centrifuge at about the 10,000 rpm for 15 minutes and use the supernatant. Check the specificity of the lectin with group O cell and titrate. Anti-H-lectin with minimum titer of the 32 should be used for grouping reactions. Now I am going to discuss the next method of absorption elution, that is absorption elution by ammonia methods. This method is useful for very old or insoluble blood stain or when the typing on substance which do not land themselves on the Howard Martin absorption elution technique. For this method, extract the stain with 4 to 5 drop of 5% ammonia solution and add 1 drop of extract in each of the 3 well of cavity slides, mark A, B and H. Heat fix the extract for 60 minutes at 56 degrees centigrade. Add 1 drop of anti-A serum, anti-B serum and anti-H-lectin respectively to each well and allow absorbing for 5 minutes in a moist chamber at room temperature. Rinse off the anti-serum and putting in a normal salines at 40 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. Saline should be changed frequently. Carefully blot the dry each well and add 1 drop of respectively 0.2% cell suspension or indicator cells to each well. Keep slides in moist chamber at 37 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes for the elution process. Transfer the slides to room temperature moist chamber and rotate for 10 minutes. Read the result microscopically. Another technique for determination of blood group from dried blood stain is absorption inhibition technique. Prepare a dilution of anti-serum with normal saline to 32 to 16. Take a clean and dry cavity tile and mark 3 cavities as A, B and H and place 1 drop of suitable dilution of anti-A serum, anti-B serum and anti-H lectin to the respective cavity. Add 1 drop of extract in each cavity, shake and keep at 40 degrees centigrade for 2 hours. Add 1 drop of 0.2% indicator cell in the respective cavity and keep at 40 degrees centigrade for half an hour. Check the tiles and examine the content for the presence of agglutination reactions both macroscopically and microscopically. The next technique for determination of blood group from dried stain is mixed agglutination methods. Take 3 clean and dry test tubes and mark them A, B and H. Put around 2 mm of blood stain or 2 to 5 mm long threads in each tube. Dip the fabric in anti-A serum, anti-B serum and anti-H lectin respectively and keep at 40 degrees centigrade for overnight. Remove the anti-serum and give 3 to 4 wash with ice chill normal saline. After the last wash, remove the whole of the normal saline and add 1 drop of 0.2% A, B and O indicator cell in the respective tube. Cap the test tube with the cotton swab and keep in water bath at 50 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. Keep tube at 40 degrees centigrade for half an hour, centrifuge, check and examine the content for agglutination reaction to the fabrics both macroscopically and microscopically. Reading of agglutination reaction will be same as the above technique. The next blood group system is Mn blood group system, which is under the control of an autosomal locus found on chromosome number 4. 2 responsible alleles designated, which is LM and LN. This blood group type is due to an glycoprotein present on the surface of red blood cells which behave as the native antigen. Phenotypic expression at this locus is codominant because an individual may exhibit either one or both antigen substances. Frequency of the 2 alleles vary widely among human population. For test procedure, take a clean and dry cavity slides and mark as M and N. Wash the RBC in normal salines thrice. Add 1 drop of appropriate anti-serum in the well. Add 1 drop of 2% cell suspension of RBC. Rotate the cavity tiles at room temperature for 5 minutes. Observe for agglutination both macroscopically as microscopically. Proper washing of cell are necessary in Mn typing in order to avoid the false positive result. If agglutination is observed in cavity M, blood group will be M. If agglutination is observed in cavity N, blood group will be N, and if agglutination observed in both the cavity, the blood group will be Mn. The next blood group system is Rh typing. Rh types were discovered in 1940 by Carl Landsteiner and Alexander Wiener. This was 40 years after Landsteiner has discovered the ABO blood group. Over the last half century, we have learned far more about the process responsible for Rh type. This blood group may be the most complex genetically at all blood type systems, since it involves 45 different antigens on the surface of red blood cells that are controlled by two closely linked genes on chromosome number 1. The Rh system was named after the rhesus monkey, since they were initially used in the research to make the anti-serum for typing blood samples. If the Rh anti-serum agglutinate your red cells, you are Rh positive. If it does not agglutinate your red cells, you are Rh negative. Despite its actual genetic complexity, the inheritance of this trait usually can be predicted by simple conceptual model in which there are the two alleles, capital D and small d. Individual who are homozygous dominant DD or heterozygous small d and capital D are Rh positive. Those who are homozygous recessive small d are Rh negative. They do not have the Rh antigens. Clinically, the Rh factor like ABO factor can lead to serious medical complication. Mother fetus incompatibility occur when the mother is Rh negative small d and her fetus is Rh positive capital D or small d and capital D. Maternal antibody can cross the placenta and destroy the fetal red blood cell. The risk increases with each pregnancy. Europeans are the most likely to have this problem. 13% of the newborn babies are at risk. With preventive treatment, this number can be cut down even further. Less than 1% of those treated have trouble. However, Rh blood type incompatibility is still the leading cause of potentially fatal blood related problem of the newborn. Rh type mother fetus incompatibility occur only when the Rh positive man father a child with an Rh negative mother. Since an Rh positive father can have either a DD or a small d and capital D genotypes, there are the two mating combination possible with differing risk regardless of the father's genotype. If he is a small d and capital D Rh positive and the mother is both a small d Rh negative, doctor assume that there will be an incompatibility problem and act accordingly. For Rh typing, take a clean and dry cavity slides and mark as C, small c, D, capital D and small e. Place 1 drop of anti-C, anti-small c, anti-D, anti-E serum and anti-small e serum in the respective cavity. Add 1 drop of 2% cell suspension in each cavity and mix and rotate the tiles for 5 minutes at room temperature. Examine for agglutination both macroscopically as microscopically. If there is no agglutination, keep the tiles at 37 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes, rotate and re-examine for agglutination. Presence of agglutination indicate the presence of respective antigen. If no agglutination in cavity means person is Rh negative. The Rh negative probability is comparatively very less than RH positive one. Thanks.